and abundant.
Psalm 89, Didactic Psalm of Ethan the Ezrahite. I will sing of the mercies of Jehovah forever. To generation and generation will I make known thy faithfulness with my mouth. I said, mercy shall be built up forever. The heavens, in them thou wilt establish thy faithfulness. I have made a covenant for my chosen one. I have sworn to David my servant. Forever will I establish thy seed, and build up thy throne to generation and generation. Pause. And the heavens praise thy wonders, O Jehovah, yea, thy faithfulness in the assembly of the holy ones. For who in the skies can be compared to Jehovah, is like to Jehovah among the sons of the mighty? A God greatly to be feared in the council of the holy ones, and terrible above all that are round about him. Jehovah, God of hosts, who is mighty like thee, O Jah, and thy faithfulness is round about thee. Thou rulest the swelling of the sea. When its billows rise, thou stillest them. Thou didst crush Rahab like the slain. With thy strong arm thou didst scatter thy enemies. The heavens are thine, thine also is the earth. The world and its fullness, thou didst found them. North and south, thou didst create them. Tabor and Hermon triumph in thy name. Thine is an arm with might. Strong is thy hand, high is thy right hand. Righteousness and judgment are the foundation of thy throne. Mercy and truth wait before thee. Happy the people that know the joyful sound. Jehovah, in the light of thy countenance shall they walk. In thy name do they exult all the day, and in thy righteousness are they exalted. For thou art the glory of their strength, and in thy favor our horn is exalted. For to Jehovah belongs our shield, and to the Holy One of Israel our King. Then thou didst speak in vision to thy beloved one, and saidst, I have laid help on a mighty one, have exalted one chosen out of the people. I have found David my servant, with my holy oil have I anointed him, with whom my hand shall be established, also my arm shall strengthen him. No enemy shall exact of him, or son of wickedness oppress him. And I will beat down his foes before him, and will smite them that hate him. And my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him, and in my name shall his horn be exalted. And I set his hand on the sea, and his right hand on the rivers. He will cry unto me, Thou art my Father, my God, and the rock of my salvation. I too will make him the firstborn, highest of the kings of the earth. My mercy will I keep for him forever, and my covenant is sure to him. And I establish his seed forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. If his sons shall forsake my law, and walk not in my judgments, if they shall profane my statutes, and keep not my commandments, then will I visit their transgressions with a rod, and their iniquity with stripes. But my loving kindness will I not withdraw from him, and will not be false to my faith. I will not profane my covenant, nor alter what has gone forth from my lips. Once have I sworn by my holiness, I will not lie to David. His seed shall be forever, and his throne as the sun before me. As the moon shall it stand fast forever, and as the witness in the skies is sure. Pause. But thou hast cast off and abhorred. Thou hast been wroth with thine anointed. Thou hast made void the covenant of thy servant. Thou hast profaned to the earth his crown. Thou hast broken down all his walls, hast made his defenses a ruin. They plunder him all that pass by the way. He has become the scorn of his neighbors. Thou hast exalted the right hand of his foes, hast made all his enemies rejoice. Yea, thou turnest back the edge of his sword, and hast not made him stand in the battle. Thou hast made his brightness to cease, and his throne thou hast cast down to the earth. Thou hast cut short the days of his youth. Thou hast covered over him with shame. Pause. How long, O Jehovah, wilt thou hide thyself forever? Shall thy wrath burn like fire? Remember what is my fleeting life. Why hast thou for naught created all the sons of men? What man shall live and not see death, shall deliver his soul from the grasp of the underworld? Pause. Where are thy former mercies, O Lord, which thou didst swear to David in thy faithfulness? Remember, Lord, the reproach of thy servants, that I bear in my bosom of all the many peoples, wherewith thine enemies have reproached, O Jehovah, wherewith they have reproached the footsteps of thine anointed. Blessed be Jehovah forevermore. Amen and amen. Fourth Book. Psalm 90. A prayer of Moses, the man of God.
Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, and thou gavest birth to the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting thou art God. Thou turnest man to dust, and sayest, Return, ye sons of men. For 1,000 years in thy sight are as yesterday when it passes away, and a watch in the night. Thou sweepest them away, they are asleep. In the morning as the grass that springs up, in the morning it flourishes and springs up. At evening it is cut down and withers. For we consume away in thine anger, and in thy wrath are we troubled. Thou hast set our iniquities before thee, our hidden things in the light of thy countenance. For all our days pass away in thy wrath, we spend our years like a thought. The days of our years, in them are 80 years and 10, and if through strength 80 years, yet is their pride toil and vanity, for it is soon past, and we fly away. Who knows the power of thine anger, and as the fear of thee thy wrath? So teach to number our days, that we may get a heart of wisdom. Return, O Jehovah! How long? And have pity on thy servants. Satisfy us with thy mercy in the morning, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad according to the days thou hast afflicted us, the years we have seen evil. Let thy work appear unto thy servants, and thy majesty upon their sons. And let the beauty of Jehovah our God be upon us, and the work of our hands establish thou upon us. Yea, the work of our hands, establish thou it.
Psalm 91. Dwelling in the covert of the Most High, he abides in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Jehovah, my refuge and my fortress, my God, I will trust in him. For he will rescue thee from the snare of the fowler, from the destroying pestilence. With his feathers he will cover thee, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth, a shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, of the arrow that flies by day, of the pestilence that walks in darkness, of the contagion that wastes at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand. To thee it shall not come nigh. Only with thine eyes shalt thou look on, and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made Jehovah, my refuge, the Most High, thy dwelling place. There shall no evil befall thee, and no plague shall come nigh thy tent. For he will give his angels charge concerning thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. On their hands shall they bear thee up, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread on the lion and the adder. The young lion and dragon shalt thou trample under foot. For he hath set his love upon me, and I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he knows my name. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and will honor him. With length of days will I satisfy him, and will cause him to see my salvation. Psalm 92. A psalm, a song for the Sabbath day. It is good to give thanks to Jehovah, and to sing praise to thy name, O Most High, to declare thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night. To a 10-stringed instrument, and to the lute, to the murmuring sound on the harp. For thou hast gladdened me, Jehovah, by thy work. In the works of thy hands I will triumph. How great are thy works, O Jehovah! Thy counsels are very deep. A brutish man knows not, nor does a fool understand this. When the wicked spring up as grass, and all the workers of iniquity flourish, it is that they may be destroyed forever.
And thou, Jehovah, art on high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, Jehovah, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn thou wilt exalt as of the wild ox. I am anointed with fresh oil. And my eye had its desire on them that lie in wait for me, and my ear on evildoers that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree, shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Jehovah, they shall flourish in the courts of our God. Still shall they bear fruit in hoary age, full of sap and green shall they be. To show that Jehovah is upright, my rock, and no unrighteousness is in him. Psalm 93. Jehovah reigns. He is clothed with majesty. Jehovah is clothed with strength. He has girded himself. Yea, the world shall stand fast. It shall not be moved. Thy throne stands fast from of old. Thou art from everlasting. The floods have lifted up, O Jehovah. The floods have lifted up their voice. The floods lift up their dashing waves. Mightier is Jehovah on high than the voice of many waters, the mighty waves of the sea. Thy testimonies are very sure. Holiness becomes thy house, O Jehovah, forever. Psalm 94. God of vengeance, Jehovah, God of vengeance, shine forth. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth. Return a recompense upon the proud. How long shall the wicked, O Jehovah, how long shall the wicked triumph? They belch out, they speak rudely, they boast themselves, all the workers of iniquity. They grind thy people, O Jehovah, and thy heritage they oppress. The widow and the stranger they kill, and orphans they murder. And they say, Jah will not see, and the God of Jacob will not attend. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? Or he that formed the eye, shall not he behold? He that chastises nations, shall not he correct? He that teaches man knowledge? Jehovah knows the thoughts of man, that they are vanity. Happy the man whom thou chastenest, O Jah, and teachest him out of thy law, to give him rest from the days of evil, until a pit shall be dug for the wicked. For Jehovah will not cast off his people, and his inheritance he will not forsake. For unto righteousness shall judgment return, and after it all the upright in heart. Who will rise up for me against evildoers? Who will take his stand for me against workers of iniquity? Unless Jehovah were my help, soon would my soul dwell in silence. When I say, my feet waver, thy mercy holds me up. In the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts soothe my spirit. Shall the throne of iniquity be allied to thee, framing mischief against law? They gather in crowds against the soul of the righteous, and condemn innocent blood. But Jehovah has been a high tower for me, and my rock a rock of refuge. And he returned upon them their iniquity, and cut them off in their wickedness. Jehovah our God will cut them off. Psalm 95. Come, let us sing aloud to Jehovah. Let us shout to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his face with thanksgiving, and shout to him in songs. For Jehovah is a great God, and a great King above all gods, in whose hand are the recesses of the earth, and the treasures of the mountains are his, whose is the sea, and he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before Jehovah our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture and flock of his hand. Today, if ye will hearken to his voice, harden not your heart as at Meribah, as in the day of Massah in the wilderness, where your fathers tempted me, they tried me, also saw my work. 40 years did I loathe the generation, and I said, they are a people that err in heart, and they know not my ways. Wherefore I have sworn in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest.